So we got our way through that, and then coming in the midst of another storm. So hopefully this won't delay my departure too much. But I think the important thing is that I am here. And I don't get a chance to celebrate, a lot of birthdays with my father because of where it falls. A lot of times we may be here for Christmas. So, but anyway, we're celebrating his 77th birthday. Amazing, when I think about 77, that is a number, the number of sevens. 7 is the number, I tell you, that is so awesome when you think about Christ and what he did. So wow, I'm just so thankful I get a chance to celebrate. As a matter of fact, my dad's birthday is really on January 29th. But since I came home, they wanted to celebrate it earlier just so I can be here and be a part of it. So I'm just thankful for that. Last year, it was a different story. Last year, it had a lot of challenges. He was fighting through some things. But I'm just so grateful that he's here with us. Being the oldest child is not easy. My brother's the youngest, I'm the oldest, and my sister is squashed in between us. My dad looked at me as the role model for my sister and brother. But of course, I couldn't do anything without the lady holding the camera right there who has the aggressive personality. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you haven't seen that. But you see, I'm more like my dad in many ways than I actually thought. Growing up as a Faust, just as my brother talked about, it was tough. At least I thought I had it tough. But I really didn't know how good I had it. When I think of a lot of the boys that don't have a father growing up, I work with a lot of teenagers in high school and middle school that don't have their fathers there, and I really come to appreciate how much a father means for a family. To be the head of a household. So, a father continues, he was always there for me growing up, and he continues to be an inspiration throughout, my life. He has truly inspired me in many ways. So he is my role model. So let me just tell you how. So when I look at the word inspire, I think about the letter I. Let's start with that. So I for intelligent. My dad is a math and science teacher. Everyone knows that. How much he really encourages students, throughout his career. And I thought, my dad always impressed me with the things that he can think about, the things that he does. My most memorable experience, which is probably a lasting memory because it's maybe a scar, but it was my senior year, my very first day. So. My dad taught at Norcom High School, so everybody knows me. I went to Norcom High School, so that's a challenge in itself. His son going to the same school as his father. Yeah. A lot of ridicule with that. But I think, the fortunate thing, and I thought it was unfortunate for me at the time, that when I got my first assignment for classes, I was in my dad's class. So not only one classes, but 2 classes. So I had them for math analysis and physics. So I went berserk. I was crazy. I was like, this is not happening. It's enough to go to the same school with the man. I see him home every day. Why do I still have to see him at school? So anyway, I went home to my mom. I was like, look, we got to do something about this. And she said, well, I should be happy because he's one of the best teachers in the whole department. And I can say that, over his 35 plus years of teaching, he was my best teacher. He was the best man that I knew. I really appreciated that, and I have to say, my mom was right. I mean, he taught me a lot. I think, he helped prepare me for Virginia Tech when I took my going to calculus. So I, as for intelligent, he's a very sharp man. Ian is extremely nice. He's easygoing. He's calm, fair, he's patient, just as Malcolm said. He don't make waves most of the time. I think he's making a little bit more waves now. So, he's a little bit more seasoned. But, if anyone who knows him, he's extremely nice in every situation. He's very generous, and he gives from his heart. S for selfless. He's always thought of others before himself. He took care of his family first. He always made sure that we had everything that we needed. And it was a fun thing. Christmases, whatever it was. And there were times where if we couldn't get it, he figured out a way. Okay? And he taught us that. He was always willing to lend a hand to anyone. And I remember a lot of times, growing up, I didn't necessarily want to lend a hand, but there were a lot of chores that he dished out for various people that he wanted to help. So chores to myself, anyway. I used to go with him in a lot of places, whether it was doing somebody's lawn. I don't know. Did I do anybody's lawn in here? But, whether it was doing somebody's lawn or just helping to move or, anything, he was always willing to lend a hand. And then we go to P for passionate. He was passionate for excellence. As you can see throughout his, a lot of the things with the boards in terms of his bowling coaching. But he was passionate about everything in the classroom, no matter where he's at, in the classroom, at home, at the bowling alley. He's driven to be his best at everything he's done. So to me, that's what I observed. And that's what, when I think back, it's like, I always try to do my best, and it's because what my father has taught me. And that's why it's so important. And I just want to really let him know that, because a lot of times, we don't get a chance to say these things, and we don't think about how much we need to say from our heart. He's a man of few words. I'm kind of a man of few words, but I've learned, hey, sometimes it's nice to talk about these things, to let someone know exactly how you feel. I is for innovative. My father is kind of interesting. So, I'm an engineer. I got a doctorate degree, and I tell you, it's all because of him and my mom. Okay, but he's always thinking of ways to do things different, bringing new ideas. So I'm going off to college, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm big stuff. Okay, I'm learning drafting, design, all this stuff. So I come home, and we work a project together. He's a good builder. He likes to build things, woodworking, a lot of that type of stuff. So it was a doghouse. This was when I was going through college. A simple thing. So I laid out plans for a doghouse. Because I'm an engineer, I figure I'm going to design this thing, I'm going to lay it out, get my drawings, figure out the dimensions, how many bolts I need, screws. My dad threw my paper away. He basically put it to the side. This is the kind of man, from an intelligence and just from how innovative, he threw it to the side and said, come on, let me show you how to do this thing. He built the thing without even thinking about, he must have thought about it, but he didn't use my plans. So, but that's the type of person he is. He just figures out a way. So he's very intuitive, he's very innovative, and that's what was instilled in me. And at that time, I wanted to show him dad's tricks, and I still had a lot to learn. I think I've learned quite a bit over the years, but it's all because of what I thought about growing up. R for responsible. So he taught me what it means to be a man. Not really through words, but actions. Because he's a man of, less words, which he's quiet right now. So, but actions: loving husband, hard worker, caring father, grandfather, brother, friend. To coach and mentor for his kids. His love for youth bowling helped him become one of the first African American certified bowling coaches. Okay, he and my mom took the youth to local, state, and national tournaments. And then you have E. E is for encouraging. This completes the inspiration. So inspire, encouraging. Always encourage me to do my best at everything I do. He may not say much, but when he talked, we listened. Now, it may have been out of fear, because my dad knows how to invoke fear. Okay? When I was coming up, and Mr. Baker probably attests to this, I was a little bit challenged. I was getting into everything. So he didn't spare the rod. And my son, Brenton, he can thank my dad for that. Because I'm spreading these, but the important thing, he knows how to give encouragement. And everything that he does is with a purpose. So, I just want to sum it up by saying that he has inspired me to do great things. And I really appreciate everything that he's done for me. And even to this day, I think about all of the decisions that I've made. A lot of it is because of what he's instilled in me, and I think about, okay, what will my dad do in this situation? And it has really helped me. So I just wanted to really say that I love you, and I'm just so glad that I was able to celebrate your 77th birthday.